So, today I'm going to be making a tutorial for Nation Rising Simulator, because all of you suck at this game. Normally you want to click servers, but this is a private server, so we're going to do something different. It's just mainly going to be like the basics of the game. I am aware that this is a private server. It's not going to be the same as like a normal game. But, yeah. Let the game load in, give it a second. Sometimes there'll be a black screen bug. In a public server, what you want to do is, okay, anytime you want to rejoin or swap a country, you type in the words rejoin. Like that. For this tutorial, I'm going to turn off the music so that way you can hear me. Give it a second, it's still loading. This game can be slow sometimes. You need to recognize that. You can't really play a game on Roblox without expecting it to be slow. Especially a game like this. You're just gonna have to suck it up, buttercup. Please, if you are new to the game, do not play as a great power. Great powers consist of the United States, France, Germany, the UK, or any of the Russians. Not even Japan. Don't even play Japan. If anything, I really don't want you to play as Poland either, even though they're a secondary power. They get invaded like really commonly nowadays, and they always have been because of Germany players and Russia players. What countries I would personally recommend is countries that I haven't seen a lot of people, usually go to invade for, like Hungary. Okay, yeah, Hungary and Poland all start off at war. I should probably explain that. Same as Ukraine and Russia, but we're not here for that. Countries that I would recommend playing as would be Portugal, Spain, Greece and Turkey, Armenia, Persia, Afghanistan, Romania, Bulgaria, Albania, Yugoslavia. The Balkans is a really good place for new players to start. Just try and not get Italy to invade you. Same with the Nordics, like Norway, Sweden, and Finland are all really good starters. Even though they're a puppet, Canada can be good because you get British protection and you can build up. Like, there's a lot of good countries in this game. South America is ridiculously underrated. Start playing in that, please. Belgium itself. Even though Belgium could get invaded, a lot of countries like to protect Belgium when they're a player. China. China's a really cool place to play in. Please just play anyone but the great powers if you are new. Anyways, for today's tutorial, I'll play as like Spain, just to show you how easy it is to build up a country from literally nothing. Spain has not the greatest starting industry, has no civilians, it has 2 construction, it has 2 mills, and has no grain. We're going to try and make that different today. Let's go conservative. Conservative gives you 140 power to declare war. Like currently, with liberalism, you get 275. Spain only has 2 options to go for when choosing reform governments, that being dictatorship and republic. But like France has constitutional monarchy and monarchy, and the papacy right here has theocracy, rare kind. There's anarchism in Ukraine and hetmanates. Let's go ahead and get some research in. Research is another thing. You get like 500 construction power when you get expand industry, infrastructure projects, and modern infrastructure. You get development boosts. You start off with a max cap of development of 5, and you get progressively more the more research you do, with max being 15. This is your military branches. This will help you with offensive wars. This will help you with defensive wars. Depends on if you want to be a bitch or not. Finally, this is how you get better guns. If you ever lost because you had more guns, even though you have more guns and you still lost, it's probably because they had tier 4 equipment and you still had tier 1. Plus training. That's another thing. We're going to cover a lot of different things in a lot of different videos. This is episode 1, where we're trying to at least learn the basics of the game. For Spain, we're going to build up a modern army. We're going to get expand industry. This is how I start the game. Some people will start by rushing this. I like to get industry when I'm playing as a country that has shit industry. But if it's like France, go ahead and get the gun line done. What we're gonna do is we're gonna form the Iberian Federation. And watch this carefully. This is how we're gonna manage our economy. Max military spending. You want this, especially if you're playing a country that will get invaded. No construction industry if you're new, because that costs money. Administration 50, taxation 40 or 44, it doesn't really matter. Another thing, grain. You need grain. You need grain. I'm gonna go ahead and get me some grain. You need to train. Training takes up guns. The more military factories you have, the more guns you produce. And these things take up steel. Steel is really one of the only two resources actually in the game, besides grain. The rest of these have not been added as of yet. I really would not want you to start wars in like 1919 and 1920. At best, build up and save up. So, like, wait until 1922, please. That's when you get your first elections in. That's when you start doing stuff. That's what I recommend. Yeah, Lithuania just kept to the polls. These were all AIs, by the way. The AIs are not like Rise of Nations. They actually fight back. That's something else. Don't rely on the AI to be stupid. The AI can be smarter than you if you're new to the game. Okay, we got our research done. See? Expand industry done. Now that we got that, I'm gonna work on this. You might be wondering why. Because I now have at least some construction power, and since I'm a moderate class player, I can increase this. You're gonna lose money sometimes. Don't freak out. Construction industry, build it. You need that. You will need that. Trust me, if you're going to go the entire game without construction industry, you're basically killing yourself. Something else about this game that you probably need to learn is cultures and all this. Click on this. This right here gives you a lot of map options. Ideology. It can tell you the ideologies of this game. This right here is not communist. This is socialist. Communist is a darker red. There's a brown that stands for fascism. This is conservatism. This is liberalism. You now know all the ideologies in the game. These are the biomes. No one really cares about the biomes or terrain map modes. Same for regions. Okay, Armenia is dead. This is for factions. Like, if someone makes a faction, it'll show up here. Development. Africa is really shit in development. Same for all of Asia. Europe has low development right now because it's the 1920s. Poverty. Poverty's a big deal. Poverty hits your economy hard. You know what affects both development and poverty? Occupation. Don't stay occupied. Right? Because otherwise you will start facing the consequences long term. Cores. This will tell you the cores and claims of a country. Do not make claims look like cores. Like Gibraltar right here is owned by Britain. This is a Spanish claim, not a Spanish core. Resources. It'll tell you the resources in a region, like Lower Andalusia has 4 steel and 21 grain consumption. Cultures. This is the culture map mode of the game. You have Spanish, you have Basque, you have Catalan, you have Asturian, and then you have Galician, and then you also have Portuguese for your neighbors. There's English in Gibraltar. There is all sorts of cultures. If you want to LARP with your cultural borders, you can go ahead. It can also show your primary cultures. There's accepted cultures in the game. Spain has all these. Portugal has these. And the United Kingdom has these. We're gonna fix our economy by building a civilian factory. Alright. I think we're ready for our first war. Even though the Portuguese probably have more guns than us, we have better trained troops. We should, in theory, still win. Line your men up on the border before you declare war. Then, do what I'm doing. Click on your soldiers And then as soon as you click declare war, you have to right click on the province you want to send your soldiers to, like this. They will begin to occupy that province. Don't freak out if they're going to occupy your land, because ultimately the AI is dumb if you're smarter. Watch this. We're going to do something called an encirclement. If they have somewhere to retreat to, they will retreat to that province. If they have nowhere to retreat to, they'll die. Like this. All of Portugal's army is now dead. And that's because I'm a smart player and I know what I'm doing. Portugal is a rare case where you actually have to occupy the entire mainland because Portugal has a bunch of annoying cores. You'll need to occupy all these provinces here if you want to capitulate Portugal. But once you do, you can go ahead and do whatever. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and start talking about peace deals. Don't worry about your stability, by the way. My stability is bad right now because of the way that conservatism is hitting the government. That's a good thing. When the elections come up, that's going to change the government to conservatism, and I'm going to have a bunch more stability. You can white peace, which will do nothing. Puppet, which will make them, of course, your entire puppet. Force ideology is kind of useless. Don't do force ideology, such a shit one. But this is what we're going to do here. Select provinces. You have to annex the land if you want to form the country. At least the cores. If it's required in the formable, you need to annex it. It can't just be puppet territory, it has to be directly yours. I'm going to full annex Portugal because Portugal is weak enough where I can do that. Some countries you cannot full annex, like France. They're too big. Portugal's small enough to where I can. Now you might be wondering, what did the administration spending do? This is a perfect way to demonstrate it. Administration spending makes your life a bunch easier by lowering the unrest in provinces that you conquered. Before we do our next war, because we cannot form yet, watch this. We still need Gibraltar. Highlight provinces. Don't worry about Leon not being needed. It's a bug. Gibraltar is still needed, and the UK owns it, meaning that we're going to have to fight the UK. UK is the strongest starting nation in the entire game, but don't let that scare you, because just as strong as the UK can be, it's also very weak. There's multiple weak points in this game. Let's continue building up our army. Remember how I said the AI is dumb? Yeah, I mean it. We could either do the annoying route of capitulating the UK for one province, or we can speed into Gibraltar, take the province, and then try and force peace a deal with the UK before they can build up a strong enough army to make it where they can deny the peace deal. If the enemy army has one more soldier than you do, they can deny the peace deal, and they will. That's how this game works. Now you might be wondering, your stability is literally dying. Trust me, I'm just waiting for the year to turn 1922 so that we have elections. This way we can also use that 140 political power declaration so that we can do this a lot sooner than with liberalism. Take note, when you swap off of liberalism, your economy will not be the same. It will take a hit. Liberalism gives you money. While we wait, I'm going to continue building up my army. So it's about time for the first in-game elections. There is no December 31st. It's just going to skip to January 1st. Don't ask me why. Election starting. There will be two options. Sometimes the elections will be rigged. Don't cry about it. Like this, conservatism twice. Clicking on this should give you conservative boost. Yeah, see that conservative boost in support? And our goal goes from 31 to 56 with one election. Our stability will start to rise now because of conservatism coming into power. See what I'm talking about yet? Elections are good for you. You could do snap elections, but I wouldn't recommend it. Waste of political power. Anyways, we have enough political power now to declare war on the UK and snatch Gibraltar quickly. We're going to do that. I think the best position for this is Lower Andalusia. We're going to open negotiate peace. Remember, in and out mission, we are supposed to be quick. Ready? As soon as you see a blue bar appear, that's how you know the province is occupied. Uh-oh. See, that is what happens when the UK has too much men out and are now actively trying to kill us. We're going to have to actually fight the UK. We're going to have to predict where they're landing. They could be landing anywhere. Or they could be going out in the sea. In this case, we're going to intercept them. Hopefully. I'm going to go ahead and build another military factory real quick. Interception is really easy in this game. Don't knock it till you try it. Let's see if we can piece out the UK yet, if they're still being mean. Nope, we're gonna have to capitulate Britain. Lovely. You just have to click on the gun production that you have and replace your guns. We're gonna land in Cornwall. No British troops should be able to get to there fast enough to really stop us. Watch out for puppets or AI soldiers invading your land, by the way. It can happen and it will happen sometimes. But yeah, the British troops are going to storm us. Get used to it. What we're going to do is we're going to occupy these two provinces real quick. That way they have nowhere to retreat to. Then we're going to go stop them from taking back Cornwall. This is a genocide. You see what I mean by the AI is dumb yet? The AI is dumb. Within the span of a few seconds, we've just killed over 220k British soldiers. In fact, I think almost 30k, I don't remember how soldiers were. I'm going to have to replay the footage. Let's just continue occupying British territories until they capitulate. Focus on cores. Don't focus on claims or anything like that. Focus on cores. If you take all their cores and they still can't capitulate, that's probably because they have enough cultural lands. So after you take their cores, take their cultural lands. Okay, the UK capitulated. Let's go back home. Now, be very, very careful when I say this. Do not just go start annexing UK territories. Please, please. You are annoying and you suck if you do that. Annex what you came in for, and if you really want to, you can annex some colonies from the UK. Annexing actual core territories of the UK, though, is a big no-no recognized by all of NRS's community. Please do not do that. You will get coalitioned and invaded. I'm going to annex Ghana. Now that we have all core territories of the Iberian Federation, we're going to form Iberia. It's a really bad flag, deal with it. Look at our industry now. Starting with nothing, we now have 3 civilians, we have 3 construction, but for the most important part, we have 7 military. 3 of which come from Portugal, and we also have 6 farms. This right here is a regional power, strong enough to participate in greater wars if multiple great powers are fighting a big war. But definitely probably not strong enough to go in alone against like France, unless it's an AI, of course. Speaking of which, today I'm going to also teach you the most important skill of any NRS player: how to kill and invade France. Every NRS player has learned this. There is a way to kill the French beasts of north, or to your west, or to your south, or to your east. No one likes France, so stop acting like you like France. We still have to wait, so in the meantime, we're going to build another civ. I know I haven't been building a lot of civilian industry. That's because military factories are severely important. You want to stay caught up with Europe. If you fall too far behind, you are the target. But civilian industry is also really important. It's what keeps your economy alive. I don't have a lot of consumer goods because I only have 3. We're going to train a little bit. Oh yeah, hold on. Since you're also now conservative, or whatever government you want to choose, you can cancel the propaganda now. It's going to be really hard for these guys to regain power, and if they really start to worry you, you can turn the propaganda back on. It doesn't matter. Okay, enough training. Let's invade France. Now, I'm not a demigod. I might lose. France is a strong country. But we're still going to try. That's the whole point of this video. To teach people how to play the game. It's very unlikely that I will lose. But I can still lose. AI will mostly try and go for provinces that you occupy, but if you take too long, they'll invade your land. Another thing, encirclements. I showed you how to do encirclement with Portugal. See this? This right here is what I'm talking about when it comes to AI invasion of land. That right there is 20k Frenchmen. I'm so glad I noticed that. We're gonna try and make them die. There's a good chance they might survive though. Hold on a minute. Where's France invading? Fuck. They're invading through Catalonia. We're gonna try and stop them. Stop those Frenchmen at all costs. Try and stop invading forces while they're still weak. Yeah, we can still clutch this. Do not let them get to full org. If they're low on entrenchment and low on org, you can still strike them. You have the advantage. Like that. That was really, really good. Do not underestimate how long it will take for an AI to capitulate. France can go from being really easy to really annoying. Just try and be fast. Don't waste time. And if you're wondering why I'm sounding like this, by the way, if you're just now questioning, it's like 12 a.m. where I am right now, and I'm recording this. I'm recording this because I'm very annoyed of players being idiot. Oh yeah, sometimes the AL will just spawn men on the occupied territory. Don't question it. They're special. Now, take what you want from France. No one likes France, so like, just don't go too overboard, but like, overall, you can punish France for existing. No one will really judge you. Like, for me, I'm gonna take Aquitania for this example, along with, like, I don't know, Algeria. Algeria is a French core, by the way, in this game, same as Libya being an Italian one. I think that needs to be obvious. This is how you release nations. This is so much stuff that I'm covering in the day, by the way. You have to know the country's tag that you're releasing. Like, Aquitania is cut off here, but the tag for Aquitania is OCC. All caps. It has to be all caps all the way. And there you go. Aquitania is now born. Algeria. It says right here. ALG. Type it in. ALG. Release. There you go. Now you have Algeria. Rebels can happen. This is not going to be what we're talking about today, but yes, rebels can happen. They will happen. Yeah. So let's see what we've done so far. We formed Iberia. We've managed to make a good standing army. We managed to conquer France and the UK. Please don't full X, by the way. Or don't puppet. Don't puppet great powers. We managed to get a decent industry. We turned conservative. Yeah. Also, I should probably have discussed about decisions more, but I guess that'll be for another video. Yeah. Welcome to NRS. Please don't suck. If you're gonna LARP as Germany, you can take your course, but please do not World War II LARP. We don't like that here. We're not Rise of Nations. We're Nation Rising Simulator. Thanks for watching.